In the previous video, we learned how to create a current weather dashboard. Plus, we saw the weather data is used in almost many applications today. News sites, mobile applications, e-commerce sites, and many more platforms are examples of this. It is possible to say that platforms that present global weather information on a weather dashboard touch more users. We have also seen that current weather data is presented to users with the Weather API, especially on many platforms. A weather dashboard, which also provides historical weather data, has recently been used on the homepage of many platforms. Many mobile applications even offer their users as widgets. The importance of historical weather data is huge for businesses and developers. In this tutorial, we will examine the importance and use cases of historical weather data. But first, let's be clear on what we will discuss in this tutorial. You will learn about most reliable historical data provider, Weatherstack. Importance of the historical weather data. Creating a striking historical weather dashboard in a web app. So, what is the most reliable historical data provider? Among the many historical weather APIs on the market, the most important is the Weatherstack API. This API provides historical weather data up to 2008 for millions of locations. For a specific location, it can provide weather data with a particular date, while also providing weather data relative to a date range. In addition, it offers developers the opportunity to customize their queries with many optional parameters. Thanks to all these features, it is preferred by giant companies such as Microsoft, Warner Brothers, and Ericsson today. What is the importance of the historical weather data? Historical weather data is of great importance in terms of understanding past weather conditions in various sectors and areas, making future plans and managing risks. This data helps businesses gain a more comprehensive view of current and future weather conditions, while also serving as a critical tool in shaping their sustainability efforts and risk management strategies. Some popular uses for the importance of historical weather data are climate change analysis. The most popular use case of historical weather data is its use in long-term climate change analysis. This data includes weather conditions such as natural events, temperature, precipitation, and wind that have occurred in the past years. These analyses help businesses and analysts understand long-term climate trends and predict future climate changes. Agriculture. The agriculture sector is an area where weather conditions have a major impact on product productivity and quality. Historical weather data is used to plan future farming seasons, optimize irrigation schedules, and determine crop harvest timings by analyzing weather conditions in the past years. Energy management and planning. The efficiency of renewable energy sources such as wind and solar energy depends on weather conditions. Historical weather data is used to evaluate the performance of these energy sources and to optimize energy production. This data is also used to forecast electricity demand and plan energy supply. Travel and tourism. Weather is one of the most important factors when making holiday plans. Historical weather data helps tourists make their travel plans by analyzing the weather conditions of a particular region for a particular period. Create a historical weather dashboard in a web app. In this part, we will develop a very useful weather dashboard that provides historical data using the Weatherstack API. We will develop the application using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Let's first discuss the prerequisites of our historical weather dashboard. Before we start developing the application, we need to obtain the API key to use the Weatherstack API. To do this, let's sign up for one of the paid subscription plans offered by Weatherstack API and get an API key. Navigate to the Weatherstack website and click on the Sign Up Free button. Choose the targeted pricing plan and fill out the registration form. This will create an account at Weatherstack. Next, you should click on the Login button. You should enter the login credentials. It will open the Weatherstack dashboard as you can see on the screen. Copy this API and keep it somewhere safe. It will help you fetch the Weatherstack functionality. Let's move to the next steps. After obtaining the API key, create a directory using the command prompt and open it inside the Visual Studio Code. Next, you should create the HTML file. Finally, you must add the code to the HTML file. Let's explain the code to make it clear how our historical dashboard works. First, you should set the HTML structure of the web application. Next, you should add the CSS section. Make sure that you are adding styles that are beautiful and vibrant. A good-looking weather dashboard enhances user experience. Besides, it also helps us engage the users. You can also customize the styles given in the code to adjust it based on your requirements. Then, we have the body part that displays the body of our web page. It displays the location, temperature, and weather description. In short, it shows the main content of our web app. Finally, there comes the JavaScript part of our application. With this application, we will use the historical endpoint of Weatherstack API with the date range. The Weatherstack API also provides current weather data at the historical weather data endpoint. For this, we added the days before today while specifying the date range in the Weatherstack API. Before running this application, let's replace your API key with our own API key and run the application. We used fetch to fetch the weather data from the Weatherstack URL in the form of JSON response. Next, this section helps us update the header elements with the API data. This section helps us fill in the historical data when our weather dashboard displays on the screen. We also added a section show to the current weather within our dashboard. In other words, this dashboard will be able to show the current weather as well as the historical weather. For the current temperature, we use the Weatherstack's current endpoint. That's all. The next step is to run the application and analyze how it performs. You can see that we successfully created the historical weather dashboard by using few simple steps. You must have realized how simple it is to create a weather dashboard by using Weatherstack, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. However, the story doesn't stop here. We still have more to achieve. In the next video, we will show you how to create a forecast weather dashboard that also features the historical and current weather. All the data will be fetched by using the Weatherstack Weather API. A forecast weather dashboard is a digital interface that displays weather predictions for future dates. It typically includes information such as temperature, precipitation, wind speed, and other meteorological data. Users can view forecasts for different locations and time periods, often with visual elements like graphs, charts, and icons to enhance readability. These dashboards are commonly used by individuals and organizations to plan activities and make informed decisions based on upcoming weather conditions. Have you made up your mind to start creating this simplest dashboard? If the answer is yes, then sign up for free at Weatherstack today and get your 250 free requests per month. Make sure that you're choosing the paid plan to create a weather dashboard.